Stop going to these doctors and go with the people that look like you.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright, lovelies, let's dive in today's video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where this study has revealed that black people who often go to black doctors to treat them, they have a longer life expectancy, depend on or compared to black people who actually was treated by these white folks. Guys, I'm just gonna roll the clip as well as the stages I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational and informative purposes, guys. All right, lovelies, let's dive into it.
As we've reported recently, life expectancy in the United States is now at its lowest level in nearly 2 decades. And the projected lifetimes of Black and Native Americans are shorter than for white Americans. New research offers an insight on a potential factor driving this disparity. It finds that Black people live longer in areas with more Black primary care doctors.
That's why even, ladies and gentlemen, even in modern medicine, we're recognizing that the African body does not react in the same way to medicines and other things as does the European body. Now doctors are beginning to realize what they realized even in the 60s and 70s, but because it was politically unwise, they did not talk about it. And that was the idea that you must take the ethnicity of the individual in mind if you're to give them the best medical treatment.
Caduceus, okay? It is a symbol for medicine. I would bet you $100 that if you went to your doctor, next time you go to your doctor, and ask him or her if they can tell you what this symbol is, I guarantee you they can't. They don't know. They don't realize, number one, that this symbol is African. It comes from Kemet, from Egypt. They also don't understand that this symbol is a symbol for the human body. It represents you. The ball at the top of the symbol represents your mind. The staff that extends from the ball is a symbol which represents your spinal column. The two serpents intertwined around the staff represent the flow of energy, whether it's electrical energy that moves through your spinal column, or whether it's the flow of blood, the circulatory system through your body. It represents the flow of energy.
The importance of diversity in the medical field especially. This is a study that found that Black people who live in counties with more Black doctors actually live longer. And it shows about a 1-month increase in life expectancy for every 10% increase in Black primary care physicians. The Journal of the American Medical Association published this new study. So joining us now is OBGYN and founder of Calla Women's Health, Dr. Camila Phillips. Doctor, thank you very, very much.
Thank you for having me.
When we were talking about this yesterday, what was so striking is it's not correlative to having a Black doctor treat a Black patient. Even if those Black patients aren't treated by a Black doctor, it's about just having them in the community. Why do you think this is? What do you make of the study?
Well, I think this study is really important because it really drives home the importance of diversity in medicine. Having a Black doctor in a space, we have lots of documentation of this, shows that patients are more compliant, they get more preventative care, and they are overall impressed and more likely to engage in medicine. So having Black doctors present in the space really changes how people see health and wellness, and the whole community does better.
Wow.
Yeah. It's interesting to, having a bunch of Black doctors as friends, to see experiences of Black doctors in general, like, some patients not wanting a Black doctor, people requesting Black doctors and not being available. I mean, it's a whole thing. A couple of us, including Caitlin, I read this thing, I think it was in the New York Times this past weekend about the pregnant women. There's this new study that looked into the health system in Pennsylvania and found that Black pregnant women are drug tested more often than white women, even though they are less likely to use drugs or test positive for drugs. You say you're not surprised by this.
It's definitely something I'm not surprised by as an African American physician. I see our patients overwhelmingly over-policed in a sense. That's our way of doing it. And it really speaks to racism in medicine and medical bias, and that's something that the medical community really needs to work on.
And Black patients not getting drugs as often, or?
Yeah, we have tons of documentation that for similar injuries, African Americans overwhelmingly receive less narcotics. There is a sense that African American patients, particularly in the pregnancy space, are not listened to, and this is contributing to our increased rates of maternal mortality. So there's a long history here that needs to be addressed by medicine, so I'm glad we're talking about it.
You've also talked about solutions. So what are some things that you suggest? What are some things you're doing in your practice?
So one thing that's a big piece is having more diversity in medicine, and that starts from the bottom up. It really is a decades-long practice to grow a doctor, and so increasing that pipeline at a young age so that we have more primary care providers, more advanced providers. Right now, African-American doctors are about 5.7% of our medical force. We're 12% of the population. So it's not just us who needs to take care of Black people, but really having a push that we have more doctors to take care of everyone is where I think we need to be focusing on.
So I've been really privileged to be involved in a lot of racial disparity research, and I want to give my thoughts on this video. For those of you who have not watched the video, I encourage you to go watch it, but it's talking about how African Americans or Black patients have longer life expectancy in counties where there are more Black doctors. Now, let me give you a specific example. This is going to be aspirin, or in general, antiplatelets. These are very important medications that can help prevent cerebrovascular disease, aka strokes, but more specifically for aspirin, okay? And this medication here is very important, as I already gave what it does, most especially because strokes has high mortality and morbidity for patients, okay? Now, it's also necessary to note that a lot of Black patients are less likely to be on aspirin compared to patients, okay? Now, why is that? This can be attributed to maybe more, but I'm just saying 3 different reasons just for this video. One, it could be as a result of costs and access to healthcare. Okay, a lot of Black patients, especially those who belong to low SES classes, don't have access to quality healthcare, and that could be the reason. Number 2 can be as a result of physician prejudice. Racial prejudice does exist in medicine, and people still do these things or act in a certain way that is like, okay, you're not treating this Black patient as well as you're treating this patient. The third thing that I actually came across recently during research was that it's also based on African American or Black patients' behavior. Now, what do I mean? Now, because of the experience that African Americans have experienced with the United States health system, sometimes it is very hard for them to trust the system. Okay. Now, what I saw in a recent study that I was looking at was this begins to change when patients have communication or talk about the medication and its benefits. Okay. Now, initially, based on the study, it was shown that a lot of African American patients were not on the medication, but when they started having conversations with their physicians about the importance of the medication and they learned about the safety of the medication, a lot of the patients actually started taking it. Okay. What this is trying to say is that I'll relate it back to why this relates to the Black doctors. But as you can see, building a rapport with the patients and the patient feeling comfortable with you definitely plays a role in how well the patient is going to take the medication and follow through with treatment. So if you have a county that has a lot of Black physicians, as you can tell, a lot of the patients might follow whatever treatment plan that's coming up. 2, they feel very comfortable bringing up what their issue is, and that way they are actually able to undergo treatment successfully and increase their life expectancy. What does this mean? I don't know. There's just a lot of things that plays into the role of making sure that patients are taken care of really well. And one of the most important things is making sure that your patients feel heard and are comfortable with you, whether you're Black or white.
how black people could be saying something for years and years and years and years, and everybody's just like, nah, that's not happening. No, y'all are reaching. Nah, like, oh my God, lies. Then as soon as a fucking study comes out that's validating what we've been saying, then it's like, oh my God, yeah, like, we need to stay on top of this. We need to, listen to what they're saying. We need to hire more, whatever the fuck. Like, yeah, we've been saying that, like, 1,000 billion people dead later. Then you want to say, yeah, we should probably start hiring more black doctors and, you know what I mean, for black people and people of color. Like, we probably shouldn't have just white fucking doctors handling everybody, because that just doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that a male gynecologist don't know nothing about coochies, but I would prefer to go to a woman, because it's like, you have one, like, you have one. It's just a cherry on top. You know what I'm saying? So when it's like, yeah, like, I'm sure any doctor is qualified, perhaps, maybe, but I would prefer to go to somebody who may relate to the shit that I got going on. You know what I'm saying? If it's that, oh, well, we have trauma that causes us to have these, diseases and health issues, or black people are susceptible to these type of things. So, like, anything. Maybe I just want to have a black doctor, because I just want to have a black doctor. Me ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I just want to see somebody that look like me taking care of me for once. Can they get, like, fuck a study? I just want to be, you know what I'm saying? I want to have the option to choose a black doctor if I so choose. I was trying to find a primary doctor a couple months ago. Girl, I'm like, page after page after page. I'm like, well, damn, I guess I'll go with the Asian girl, because it's literally no doctors, nobody black doing any work out here, I guess. I don't know. And it's like, forget the fact that black women are never believed when it comes to our pain, and that they feel that we tolerate more pain than the average fucking woman. It's not for nothing that they were illegally sterilizing women who were getting abortions or going to Planned Parenthood, and completely disregard, prior to this study coming out, people getting their babies taken away, people, being under scrutiny at the hospitals for any little thing to try to get CPS involved, just mishandling us, period. And a lot of that results in malpractice and death. But yeah, no, the study, like, so happy that the study is out confirming what we've been saying.
And you see, this is something that I already knew when I came to the States, because I remember when I came to the States, like, everybody that was around me was always going to the doctor for every small thing. They got a cough, they got a sneeze, they go to the doctor for medication. They got a pain in their arm, they go to the doctor for medication. They have like a bruise, they go to doctor. Like, literally every small thing, every small injury, small sickness, small whatever. Americans run for medicines, run to medication, run to doctors. My thing is this: before medications, pills were ever invented, how did people of old, how did people of back in time take care of their sick? How did people back in time keep their bodies active, keep their bodies strong, mind, everything? There weren't no gyms back in the day. There weren't no, all this different variety of pills and medications. They're always coming up with a new name for a new medication every goddamn week. If it's not a new name that sounds weird, it's some medicine that looks weird, that has a weird name, that has some good qualities, but has long-term bad qualities. Like, in my experience in America, Americans don't make medication to cure its people. They make medications to make money off the people. Because you can't tell me that Americans are so advanced in medicine that they don't have cures for deadly diseases that can cure their sick one time and done. You don't make money if you have a cure. You make money if you have a cure and people don't know you have a cure, and you can find alternative cures for them to purchase. Because if you have a cure and you sell it to everybody in the world and everybody is well and fine, nigga, you're gonna lose money. Because everybody's fine. Nobody needs that medicine. It works one time. That's all you need. One time payment, you're good to go. That's one thing I learned about the American people in this country, is that you guys run a lot to medications. They are natural herbs, natural, concoctions that you can make that literally take care of yourself. Like, I've rarely been to the hospital. The only time I've been to the hospital in the States or even in my whole life is when I had my eye infection, and my eye, like, I couldn't see out my left eye at all. Now, at that time, I don't know what home remedies I could use to get my vision back. I had to go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? But regular things like cough, sinuses, all the allergies, those little things like that, bro, we have herbs for that. You mix some herbs together, drink it like in a tea, or eat it in your food, you're good to go. Just like most cultures, they really use pills, medications. They drink herbs. They eat healthy foods, not processed foods. You know what I'm saying? They live healthier. They live longer. And yes, sometimes being around the same group of people in the same professions, like careers, like doctors, bankers, whatever, probably do help people of the same ethnicity live longer. It's known to do that. It's not no race thing. No, we're trying to separate each other. It's just that's how it is. It's like me coming from Nigeria, knowing the remedies and home remedies that can help me live a longer life because of where I'm from, the people that surround me, so that if I was still living in Nigeria as I got older, those medications, those herbs, those healthy eating will help me grow, will help me live a longer, healthy life. We have cultures like that in Asia. We have cultures like that in India. We have cultures like that in different parts of Africa. It's all around the world. Medicines in different varieties help people all around the world. It's not just the pills. Just because the European body can take those pills and easily process that doesn't mean everybody can. And that's why every culture has specific things, specific, dietary plans, dietary supplements, medication, herbal medicines, herbal ointments that they use to improve their lives based on their culture, based on where they're from. We are all not the same. That's why we all have different cultures that link us to these things that can help us improve our lives. But we sometimes feel like because, this one group is taking something, it's working for them, I'm going to go try that next. That thing is not guaranteed to work best for you the way it works for person A. Maybe person B has to go find what works best for him or her. And that's something I feel like when it comes to America's medicines, like I learned that. I remember I had a debate about that in class when I was in high school about medicines, and I basically said I don't believe the American system wants to cure its people. I believe they want to make money off its people. Because why would I have a cure that can save hundreds of millions of my people and not sell the cure to hundreds of my people, make 100 million? Why would I do that when I can make maybe 500 million by selling a lesser version with some of the properties of the cure, but with long-term negative effects? Because if you think about it, that's how literally most of the things that Americans pharmaceuticals sell come with. There's always one benefit, which is the issue you're looking for can either be addressed, and if it's addressed, you're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5 other new developments that you have to address. So that means you have to go seek, again, medical attention for those 2, 3, 4 things. I hear in ads all the time, this pill will take care of your problem, but you might have a heart attack. There may be a chance of death. You might be bleeding. I'm like, I came in for one problem to be fixed, and I leave with 10 more. I'm supposed to come to you and get rectification one time and done. Not coming here and buying over and over again. So for me personally, I believe American pharmaceuticals have cures for a lot of different diseases. I cannot see how they cannot, especially how much they rave about how good their science department is, their medical department is, blah, blah, blah. They are supposed to have these medicines that can cure its people one and done. But again, like I said, this is a capitalistic system. They're trying to make money, bro. And not to go off the point, but yeah, I do believe that there's a lot of medicines in the world that do not work for everybody. And that's why I don't ever take myself to the hospital every single time something is wrong with me. I'll make sure first I go through the route of my natural heritage, which is Nigerian way. Find a remedy that can best work with my body from where I'm from. And if that does not work, then I go to the modern medicinal section. But I got to try home first. I gotta try what I was brought up in first. I have to try that. Don't forget there are natural herbs out there that will literally take care of you 1000% before that pill you're finna take will do the job. You just have to research. You have to be open to new information, not closed-minded. There's a lot of things out there that can help you live longer, and the American public don't know about because they don't have enough information about it. But sometimes you have to go out into the world, have an open mind, and research these things and improve your life. Don't just get stuck taking the same thing that the government says is good for you because they say is good for you. Like, you don't know that. We don't know the scientific behind the scenes of what is in those pills that are supposed to help us. But for the things that are naturally made by this earth to rejuvenate our souls and our bodies, those things are there, waiting for us to discover them, to eat them, to, replenish our energies and, make our body whole, our mind too. So for me personally, that's what I think, that's my personal take on this whole topic when it comes to different drugs that work for different people, because we're really not the same, and we have to realize that there are different medications, different herbs that will apply and affect people differently. Sometimes some pills and drugs will exponentially improve somebody's lives, and sometimes it will decrease somebody's life exponentially. It's not for everybody, and we have to just find what works best for every individual person. It's a challenge, but it's a challenge that we have to be willing to take because we want to have longer, happier, peaceful lives. So,
seriously, lovelies, do you know the level at which people have been talking about this, the way at which people of my own type have been saying this? Let's just start from the, in times of giving birth, women that give birth to these hospitals, we realize that there are high, birth mortalities and all of that, whereby, people or women of my own type who were, pregnant, they tend to not be in a good attendance. They don't attend to them well. They just neglect them, they treat them anyhow, and resulting to someone not getting a better medication, the next thing that could happen to that person. And this thing is something that a lot of women have been talking about. Something last year, this actually trended, whereby the high rate at which people like our uncle actually lose themselves in the course of giving birth and all of that was so high compared to that of people of what I mean. This thing has been going on for quite some time, and people are not even considering to look into it. A lot of women, especially people of my own type, has actually come out to speak on how they've been treated so badly in times of maybe pain reliefs and all of that. They see us as people that has this body that can endure pain. So because of that, we were tend to be neglected. We are tend to be treated anyhow. We are tend not to be in kind of emergency. Even if you are crying, trying to tell them that, oh my God, I'm in pain. And there's a video which I will never forget. I think I've already put that video down, where this woman, she was recording herself. She was crying and actually begging for something like a pain relief and all of that. And this nurse who happened to be there, she was like, oh my God, she's into the RUGS and she needed more of this, that people should just let her. She was crying, practically begging for herself. She needed this to relieve herself. Do you know what really happened? This person did actually make it. And this, went all around. And because of that, a lot of women were coming with their experiences, trying to talk about how they were being, neglected in terms of birth, in terms of, medical attendance and all of that. The way they've been treated, it's so badly. And there is another video that I staged where a doctor is, he came out to ask a question. Why is it that most times when you're, when you are actually attending someone of color, or when I use black person specifically, they often come with either of their mother, cousin, friends, or whatsoever. And if they are not with these people, they use their phone to record. That this person that asked this question was actually a pan-colored person, and a lot of people stitch his video trying to tell him the reason why a lot of black people often do that, because of negligence, because of lack of incompetence, because of lack of trust. We wouldn't expect us not to be conscious of ourselves, because when we go there, when we go to you guys in times of, okay, we need help and all of that, the way you guys mistreat and all of that, gives room for things like that to be considered. So you coming out to ask such questions it actually made everyone to realize how delusional you are. I think I put that video somewhere on my other channel, which is really stick to. You just do just do yourself to check that channel out. So a lot of things things like this been going on for quite some time, and I'm so surprised that it's now coming out now. Where is it now that you guys are talking about the study and all of that? These people have been on their knees, have been on their mouth, talking, asking for something to be done. If it's to employ more of these, maybe black doctors, at least it could be of help, because the rate at which these people been treating my own type of people, or because they want help, or because they are looking up for you for, like, seriously, this is actually not nice. I can remember a video that went viral sometime, which I'm gonna be putting it up here, where a white person, like, there was a video that was going around where black doctors were celebrating their careers and all of that. So somebody stitched a video, was like, who is going to go to this black doctor, because they have already projected us as people that is unqualified. If we are unqualified the way they have projected us to be, why is it now in record that black people who often go to these black doctors have a better life expectancy compared to you when going to these colored people? And this also brought me back when this guy was like trying to criticize those doctors that were those black doctors that were celebrating. I think they have passed out or something. They were in celebration. He was like, oh my god, he's seen a bunch of unprofessional doctors, and who is actually going to go to these people. Like, the way they have seen us also remind me of a video that I posted. He was talking about is it a pilot that he's not comfortable when a black pilot was when a black pilot flies him. And back to this doctor, everything, they see us as unprofessional, as people that can do professional jobs, or people that cannot, act so well in the medical field. That's why they keep on, limiting the amount of people or the amount of black people they put in those kind of positions, or because they feel that, okay, we are incapable of doing stuff like that. But now, this study that have shown that anyone that's been assigned to this, black doctors actually have, have the opportunity to live longer. And this is so absurd that this is actually happening in this generation. I know there are so many things that is just going out there, and people have been clamoring, trying to tell their truth. But the more we want to talk about it, the more it suppresses our voice. So now it takes a study for them to really understand the rate at which people are being treated in the medical field, especially people of my own type of skin. And it's so shameful that it has to take a study to prove this. Meanwhile, people have been talking, people have been advocating, people have been trying to air their own view, their personal experience, but these people have been shut up one way or the other. This is why, TikTok is so vital. There's so many informations, on TikTok. There are so many things that have been shared there, where sometimes I don't even get to see them on national televisions and all of that. This is why they have put in a propaganda to actually shut TikTok. But we move. So it has to take a study for these people to actually listen to pan-colored people, to listen to people like black people, to listen to their cry, to actually make them understand that they are not being treated well in the medical field. So it's high time for them to keep on employing those doctors that they felt that they are unprofessionals. At least a black doctor should be able to treat a black doctor. I wish that this law should be, this bill should be passed, whereby a black doctor should be able to treat a black person. A female doctor should be able to treat female. I know that all doctors are professionals and all, but at least in this case. And there is another brother which I actually stitched his video. He's talking about going back to our roots, our tradition and all of that, and he was actually making a lot of sense. There are so many people who do not do without pills and all of that. Okay, pills, you don't even know what they are actually giving you. And if there is a way you can actually maybe go back to the way where we are coming from, traditional in terms of herbs and all of that. I know it's not even easy to get or to lay your hands there, but I think this is what has kept the Chinese people, they like maintain the way they take their herbs. I don't know how I wish I'm able to even do this. I would personally want to like get myself involved in those herbs and trying to like, the way our forefathers used to do it. Because sometimes I used to ask myself, how is it that the forefathers actually survived? Because then I believe that there is nothing like all this kind of, equipped hospitals, all those hospitals and all of that. But how were they able to succeed? How were they able to live longer? Because if you even watch, those our forefathers actually lived longer than people of this period. So how were they able to achieve that goal? How are they able to achieve healthy lifestyles and all of that? How were they able to do all of this? But now that we have so many technologies, hospitals here and there are so many diseases, infections going around, and even the incurable ones and all of that. So what the heck is happening? Is it that when technology is going, versatile, a lot of, sicknesses, look at COVID-19 and all of that. We don't even know what COVID was during the days, but they are still surviving. So if you check very well, they were into all these, natural things. They eat natural food. They were into herbs and all of that. Women then give birth to 12 children, 13 children with no complications. And so how were they able to do all of those things? Seriously, we just need to look into this and try to see if there is a way we can, try to start saving ourselves, because these people, those tablets, pills, and all of that, you don't even know what the combinations are. And I'm not, disputing the fact that they're not doing their own best. They are, but we should, we should be able to learn how to maybe live healthier, eat healthier, or try to like do things that, that could just help us. Because these people, if we allow them the way at which things are going, oh my God, we all need to just really, really look out for each other. We all need to look out for each other. Things like this, that is why we are here to actually give and dash out all this information. And now, this study. So I keep asking myself questions last night when I saw this video. I was like, is it that it takes a study to actually make these people to shift, to move, to actually start doing something? But people have been online. I will never forget that trend that was about last year with these women. Women were, after childbirth, there's a problem and all of that. People were advocating, but they were all turned deaf ears. So in 2024 now we are seeing all of this. This is it. So it takes a lot of people that must have lose their stuff for them to actually start working on something. When people are complaining, or especially people of my own type of thing, they tell us that, oh my God, we complain too much. Everything that has to do with us is just too much. If we complain how operation have affect us, we are complaining too much. If we complain in the medical field how we've been treated, we are complaining too much. It takes the grace of God for things to be looked into, and you think that we are still in an equal society. And when people like me, come out to, with my stitches and things that is happening all over the world with the information, and some people will just keep saying that, oh my God, this thing is just something that happens in the past. It does not involve now. We don't see color anywhere. No, there is still color. Color is still existing in the society, and this is why in the medical field there are high rates of this when this other person is being attended to you. Why is it if there is no color? So why is it that? Why is it so? Why is this study not? Why is it coming now? So these videos, like, seriously. Anyways, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And who knows, don't forget that this channel will not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes, so please why not just share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. I also want to use this video to say a very big shout out to my newest subscribers. Oh my God, you guys are welcome to this family. We here with the short information, educative purposes. We talked about a lot of history, since history have been struck down from schools. We talk about our everyday lives, talk about it related to our histories and all of that. So please do share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. And I also want to tell you guys about my backup channel, which is under this channel, PE.PLE Stitches. Just do yourself to actually check it out. You can also find something interested in that page. So check it out. Also subscribe if you like what you see there. And I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one. I've watched up to this extent. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that this channel will not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We are just here for educational purposes. So please do share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.